It's really beautiful when it rains like this. But I can totally use some sun! So the solar panels on the roof can eat some juice. Well, I have some handwork to do. Yeah, kind of like that. There's 8:40 left. Oh, good. Now it's pouring. Excellent. Kind of cool. I just watched this documentary called Garbage Warrior about this guy who made these things called Earth ships, which I've heard of before, but I didn't know the whole story. Anyway, this guy Mike, he graduated with an architecture degree and found that everything he learned in architecture school was total garbage. Sounds kind of familiar. Anyway, so he started building his own buildings. And he ended up calling them Earth ships. And these buildings, like houses, they'd collect water from the roof and had food growing inside them, had all this thermal mass inside and south-facing windows. So I mean, basically the houses had everything a person needs to live. And, they'd have solar panels on them and stuff. And they were awesome. People would live in them and be like, wow, I don't have to do anything in this house. I can do what I want in life instead of wasting all my time, trying to make sure I have enough food and heat and all this garbage. Anyway, so people start getting interested and hanging out, and they build more of these things, and then they start building little communities, and it's awesome because every time they do this, there's some ups and downs because a lot of it's experimental stuff, but they're just learning so much really cool stuff and building amazing houses that you can just live in, and there's no problems in them. And there's no utilities coming in and out, and that's where the big problem comes, because next thing you know, the government gets involved. And this is after they've been doing this for like 25 years. So the government gets involved and says, you're breaking all these building codes, because to build a house that works, you have to break all kinds of building codes to do it. Because the building codes are set up not to keep anyone safe. That's what they, try to pretend they're doing. The building codes are there so that people can make money, and then, they make more jobs, and everyone's stressed out all the time, but, the job numbers look good, which is what the politicians care about. And anyway, all this political garbage gets involved, and it's horrible. So this guy loses his architecture license, spends the next decade just fighting with all these idiot politicians, trying to get some kind of permission to build these things. So, finally he ended up getting his architecture license back and, getting sort of permission to kind of do what he was doing before, but I only should have watched the first third of it. The second third of this thing was just horribly depressing. And confirms for me that I need to move to a country somewhere where there are not so many rules like this. And at one point, he was going to other countries to build these houses. I don't know why he came back. He went to somewhere that had been hit by a giant tsunami, and all the stuff was wrecked. There was garbage everywhere, and he's like, well, let's just build some houses out of this. And the people were so happy and excited, and they're like, yeah, everyone's getting into it again. And then he came back. I don't know why he'd come back, man. Anyway, yeah, this Mike guy has a philosophy that he doesn't want to just abandon ship. He wants to help everyone else, which is really, really difficult, because a lot of people are fighting as hard as they can to basically commit suicide, environmentally speaking. Anyway. Giant robot. Okay, when we left our hero, I totally burnt out my drill press, right? And I checked the capacitors. Smells really bad, and is actually coming apart a little bit. Seriously though, it's so depressing when people who are trying to do awesome stuff and help the world get shut down by the government. Oh God. And like I said before, I'd heard of these Earthship things before, but when I went to their website, like half the website is about passing building codes, which is why I was never really that interested. I was like, this is a bunch of garbage. Stupid government.
I'm not going for it.
Nothing in here even remotely the right kind of thing. Unless you find something. Nope. Hand drilling it is then. You can probably order one of these online somewhere. Alright, for my bearing holes. I need this thing to stop at the right place. So maybe if I kinda... Yeah, that looks about right. I can bend the wire a little bit if I need to adjust it. Wait, let's just double check. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, good. I think those are going faster than the drill press ones. Sweet. Hey, check it out, I got visitors today. Cool. Everyone's wearing yellow. Ooh, 4 in a row. There's a lot more. Dum 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 dum. I got tired of things, slipping off the track every time I rotate it. So I just put in the little vertical wheels and they keep it from sliding around. They went on surprisingly smoothly too. It only took like 20 minutes. Although I did use up a few of my rollers, so now instead of 48 of these I need, I'll probably put 12 of those wheels around, so I need like 60. Arr.